Storm Tracker 6. This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Anyone heading outside in Hillsdale this morning could have some frost on their windshields if you parked outside. Temperatures have dropped down into the 30s, not quite at freezing, but that's because our temperature sensors are more above the ground. When you get closer to the surface, you have cooler temperatures. It's just the nature of the way the air works. Coldest air sinks, and right now Ann Arbor is the coldest spot at 31. We'll be tracking these temperatures and how their changes could bring about more rain. That's coming up as 6 News This Morning continues.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News This Morning.
Lawmakers remain deadlocked with the federal government shutdown now entering its 10th day. Good morning and happy Friday. Today is October 10th. I'm Megan Vaselli.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kirk Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. 6 News is here for you now with this morning's top stories.
Republicans and Democrats stuck in a stalemate on Capitol Hill.
And now senators have left Washington until next week after votes once again came up short to end the shutdown.
President Trump now threatening to cut unspecified programs if the shutdown continues. But this morning, both sides remain dug in, each believing their position is best for Americans. Democrats want to extend health care subsidies that are set to expire soon, but the president claims they're using that as a weapon.
Blame the Democrats. They ought to call their local Democrat representative, whether it's a senator or a congressman, and it's their fault.
House and Senate Democrats have repeatedly made clear that we will sit down with anyone, anytime, any place to negotiate a bipartisan agreement that reopens the government and that addresses the Republican health care crisis.
The Senate is expected to reconvene on Tuesday.
Meanwhile, the president says he will travel to the Middle East next week as part of a victory lap for his role in brokering a ceasefire and hostage exchange deal between Israel and Hamas, widely seen as the first step towards ending the 2-year-old conflict.
Israel's government formally approved the agreement with the next steps to come, but as Bradley Blackburn reports, explosions were seen overnight on the Gaza skyline.
Massive smoke plumes filled Gaza's skies hours after Israel's government approved the Phase 1 ceasefire framework with Hamas that includes the release of all remaining Israeli hostages in exchange for the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners.
Combined military and diplomatic pressure that isolated Hamas, I think, has brought us to this point.
Israel is now tasked with pulling back its military forces to an agreed-upon line within a certain time frame. Hamas is expected to turn over the remaining 48 hostages, both alive and deceased, early next week.
The hostages will be coming back Monday or Tuesday. I hope to be there.
President Trump says he plans to leave Sunday for the Middle East, where he says he'll attend the official signing of the Phase 1 agreement in Egypt and deliver an address to Israel's parliament in Jerusalem. Around 200 U.S. service members are headed to the region to support and monitor implementation of the ceasefire agreement, though administration officials say U.S. troops will not enter Gaza. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
This morning, a federal judge grants a restraining order temporarily blocking the Trump administration's deployment of National Guard troops to Illinois. The judge's ruling states that for the next 14 days, no National Guard units may be deployed in Illinois. There's a telephone hearing scheduled for October 22nd in which she could extend the order. The judge says that while there have been assaults and acts of vandalism amid the ongoing immigration crackdown in the Chicago area, the Trump administration's claim that local law enforcement hasn't been able to handle the situation is, quote, unreliable. Meanwhile, the White House is expected to appeal.
And meanwhile, immigration and customs enforcement agents are now in mid-Michigan. 6 News has confirmed ICE conducted an operation in Meridian Township, and this morning we're working to learn more details. Meridian Township Supervisor Scott Hendrickson tells 6 News the police department learned of yesterday morning's ICE operation but was not involved. He says the township doesn't know what the operation was and that, quote, Meridian Township police do not assist in enforcing federal immigration laws. 6 News reached out to ICE for more information, but as of this morning, we have yet to get a response from the agency.
3 Michiganders now charged with Medicaid fraud in what the AG calls a transportation scheme. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says Bernice Pate from Inkster, Wanda Spivey from Taylor, and Ashley Mendoza from Detroit used an app to trick a phone into thinking it was somewhere else where it wasn't, then submitted reimbursement requests to the Michigan Medicaid program for trips they never took. Now all three are charged with Medicaid fraud and false claims, and if convicted, could face decades in prison. They're due back in court a week from today.
The streets of East Lansing will be packed today as Michigan State University and the entire community get ready for the annual homecoming parade.
Thousands of people will head downtown, so you can expect some road closures to start early this afternoon.
Now, the parade starts at 6 o'clock tonight at the intersection of Abbott Road and Berksham Drive. It goes through town and around Michigan State's campus, crossing the Red Cedar Bridge and ending on Farm Road a little after 7 o'clock. The parking lot of the East Lansing Hanna Community Center will serve as the staging area, so that's set to close at noon. The East Lansing Public Library also closing early at 2 o'clock. The celebration continues tomorrow with Michigan State's 109th homecoming game, and that is set to start at 12:01. 6 News will be streaming the parade live on our website, WLNS.com, and that's where you can also find more information about tomorrow's game. Just look under the Scene on 6 section.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
On the Capitol camera, we see the flag now flying in a wind that comes up from the south, and that's going to bring us slightly warmer temperatures for the day today, while also bringing in our next system. Sunrise time 7:46, sunset 7:04, gives us 11 hours 18 minutes of total daylight out there. If you plan on heading outside today, you may want to have an umbrella nearby later on. This morning we're dry. We just have some clouds drifting by, but those clouds are being produced by an area of activity that's in Wisconsin. That rain isn't really doing a great job of holding itself together, but it's going to likely still give us a chance for some rain for this afternoon and evening. Macy, sitting there staring at the camera, apparently has a smiley face on her back in that fur pattern. Now, if you have any pet pictures, of course, you can send them in WLNS.com/furcast. As for this one, we have some yellow paws mixing with green paws. The chance for rain really going to pick up as we head past sunset. So I'd say anytime 7 to 8 o'clock, be on the lookout for a better chance for some rain.
Wasn't it just last weekend it was 87 degrees?
It was warm. We had record temperatures. Now we have frost.
It seems so long ago.
It does. To be fair, I did shut down the furnace and all of that, the air conditioning, all of it. I just turned it off.
Okay.
Slept with the windows open, and when I woke up, I was kind of warm.
Really?
So it was okay. So far, so good. I'm not an HVAC guy. Don't take advice from me, but it worked for me overnight.
All right, still ahead.